We hope to help you. We want you to know that there's some life after the hurt.
A poppy seed bagel.
Poppy seed, not
Poppy seed bagel. Maria
Matt.
Martino is with me today, and my lovely daughter, my youngest daughter, Mercadi Duffin. I brought her over from behind the cameras to be on the air with us this show. She doesn't have a TBI. God, she has to put up with one every day, though, and that would be mine. Maria does have a TBI. She's like me.
No.
In our series of people just with brain injuries and people just recovered strong. You know, not everybody's a race car driver like my friend John. Not everybody's a superstar like Darcy. Although I'm glad she is. You know, so there's people like me. There's people like Maria, and there's people that do nothing but sit and stare at their wall. My goal is to show you that there's more than just staring at the wall. Maybe it's a baby step out the door. Maybe it's 2 baby steps out the door. And then do 4 the next day, man. It's time to start moving. You got to accept and move forward. And my lovely guest today, they also used to go camping with us. That's where we met at. Hooks Rehabilitation had a program in Indianapolis at one time, and we went camping 6, 7, I don't know, a bunch of years together out at Indiana State. Wonderful place, great. 35 of our closest brain injured friends throughout the state of Indiana, and our families, you know, caregivers, all kinds of therapists, student therapists. We had a blast. Stayed for 3 days, did all kinds of fun stuff. Fell asleep watching movies at night. And met and socialized. Mm-hmm. And I invited Maria to be with me today because I like her. I like people with me that just try. You know, I had it taken away. Decided that no, it wasn't taken away, but man, it got hurt. So, you know, she was in college. And let me tell you how TBIs work a little bit deeper before I get right to her. She got her first TBI. She fell down some stairs, tragically. She'd been in a real serious car accident. I believe it was a drunk driver. I'll let her get into it. She had 4 or 5 TBIs. They just keep happening. Your brain softens up. They can't take the blows they used to take, and your brain can't ever take any blows. You know, my daughter last summer, she was very fortunate not to get thrown out of a car that hydroplaned through and rolled 3 or 4 times, and it filled. She got squeezed backwards into the car, almost broke her in 2, give her a concussion. I got the call. Instead of being about me. And again, wonderful work was done, and because of her driven nature, and from meeting and talking with people like Maria, and going camping, and meeting Aaron and some of the other people that we've been with. And I want to thank you both for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks.
She's real excited about being on there with us. I was trying to get her to talk first, but this ain't going to work, it looks like, and I'm tired of talking. So, Maria.
She's my friend, though.
You know, I want to thank you for coming over from, you're originally from Kokomo.
Yes.
Your family has a Hall of Fame level recognized pizzeria type Italian
Restaurant.
Yeah, okay. Italian villa. Maybe you people have been into it when you visited playing the Wildcats up there. Martino's Italian Villa. A wonderful place.
Well, thank you. Yeah, to segue off that, my they got the Pizza Hall of Fame. What, 3 weeks ago?
Recently.
Yeah, National Pizza Hall of Fame, and usually it goes to businesses who are in the East Coast, like New York, New Jersey, Boston, and this is the first time, I think. Don't quote me on that. First time it's out of the East Coast. So, yeah, I'm so proud of my parents. Now my dad's deceased, but I'm proud of both my parents, my brother Mike, and now my nephew Anthony. So yeah.
So 200 and some years later, the Italians have actually migrated from the East Coast and are starting to get into Indiana? Because I know you're first generation Italian. Your mom and dad.
There's others.
Your mom and dad, I believe a lot of your family came from Italy.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got to cross my legs. Just quit looking. Hey, don't move. I got to keep moving them. Thus the desk. Anyway.
Don't make me cough because I have dry mouth, so
Exactly.
from my medicines,
But your mom and dad came from Italy.
Mm-hmm. Long story,
Long story. Somehow they ended up in Indiana.
Well, they ended up here because my dad's dad, my paternal grandfather, came. His brother said, "Why don't you come to Indiana?" Because a lot of factory jobs, especially in Kokomo. And so he did, and my mom never wanted to move because all of her family was there. And so she told my dad. And so he agreed he'd never move. But a year after they were married, of course, my dad, I won't say he lied, but my dad wanted to move here. So that's the story goes. But we go to New York and Rhode Island quite often.
They've built a restaurant, a fan, and they worked hard all their life. And
they worked I have to admit.
Did you grow up working in the pizzeria yourself?
Well, of course.
Yeah, I knew it.
So you
All
can make
six-
me some pizza.
All 6 of us have.
That's a large family.
My first job was, it's gross to people now, was picking up cigarette butts barehandedly. Because back then, as long as you wash your hands, now it's all out of control.
So you don't smoke cigarettes probably for that reason alone?
No, actually, I did try in college.
Sure. Well, let's get to that.
And my dad let me try, but the swallowing smoke and me coughing up along.
Well, you was in college, University of Indianapolis. You was studying
Nice
to be a
segue.
psychologist. You was working on your doctorate eventually.
Right.
So you fell down some stairs and you cracked your head into a steel wall door, and there wasn't the quite connections at the hospital that always needs to be. These are problems that you as parents and caregivers and people that they're with, you need to check into. Just because they hit their head lightly and they feel like they're okay, you don't know that they're going to be okay 2 and 3 days from now. Man, there's blood up there blowing through your brain. I don't know how to put this in any more layman's terms. I'm not going to use their big words. I don't want to get lost.
I can.
I'll let her do it. You got to check it out. You got to have MRIs. CAT scans are fine. You got to have MRIs. There's things you got to do.
But sometimes MRI does not show brain injury.
Sure. Sure. Not that. They should show some kind of brain damage, but.
Well, not in my case, not really. Because my huge one, after my dad died 9 months later, my niece wanted to cheer me up, my 40th birthday. So, and yes, I'm going to use the God word and faith.
I believe in it.
Because without that, I seriously wouldn't be here. So, I'm going to start from the beginning, if that's okay.
Sure, I want
and then
you to.
I'll just.
But real quick, I've seen our whole society, from atheists to almost believers to Bible thumping.
Right.
They've changed their whole outlook on religion.
Yeah. I mean,
When you talk to God, it changes. When you meet the man face to face, it changes. Anyway.
Exactly. And mine, I unfortunately met both. So after the wreck, well, we were going, my niece wanted to cheer me up. Yes, back then, I still had the roller film camera. You know, I had this Canon. My niece says, they call me Mary, but my real name's Maria. She said, Amy, why don't we get you back in the 20th century? So we went to the mall, hoping to cheer me up, get me a digital camera. Well, we were going straight on a green light. Lady disregarded her light, cut in front. But the road she was turning on wasn't a straight 90 degrees. It was, you know, curved. And so we're going 30, you know, going straight down Markland. And this lady turns on Apperson Way, 30 miles an hour. And so they call it high-end crash. Of course, my side. But the whole thing was God, because, you know, I never wore seatbelts in the Navigator. That day I did. Usually take my car or hers. We kind of fight about it. That day, my mom let us take the Navigator first time. My niece drove, which is good, because I'd rather have the injuries instead of her, because she just graduated from college. So she had her whole life ahead of her. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad. But so they didn't think anything was wrong. But they took me to rehab in a nursing home. And so that just set a spiral, cascading events. So anyway, I get out. They said nothing was wrong. So they said drive after, you know, a week or so. Mom would watch me. So I was at the restaurant. So I was in the restaurant, wasn't able to go back for my doctoral. And so, you know, took some time off. So then they let me drive again, volunteer. They said, why don't you volunteer at the local hospital, St. Joe Hospital, which is a really good hospital, because the other one, I can't say the name, but they almost killed me a few times. But if you're from Kokomo or the area, you know the other hospital. So anyway.
Should have told me, I would have mentioned it. But anyway. Yeah, I want to get to some, you know.
So anyway, so I had another wreck. That one lady disregarded seeing me and the other 5. So I hit. So I had fluid on my brain, and my ophthalmologist said, you know, go to this neurologist. She was evil, but, well, it's pretty bad when the doctor's office says.
There's nothing wrong with you?
No, when the doctor's office says, you went to her?
Oh.
And I said, well, yeah, they said, recently. It kind of surprised me. She said, the lady said, oh, she's evil.
Huh.
I'm like, I know. And, you know, I was still alive. So I gained like over 60 pounds, still having trouble getting it off. But my electrolytes went down. My sister from Chicago even noticed something. My mom was worried. They didn't know where to go. Well, no surprise, after all this, I've learned Indiana is the 47th worst state in the nation for people with brain injury. And it doesn't seem like our state government wants to change, because I've spoken to the Senate, and a couple governors back didn't want to do anything, and it's just not going anywhere. So, you know, we don't, besides RHI, and then we had Hook. Now we don't have Hook, and there's nothing.
Well, they moved it to Community North. They have their own rehab hospital up there.
Yeah, but another company is also running it.
Well, but there's another outlet, and, you know, that's for people that don't have the same amount of insurances and stuff. And it's still a rehabilitation hospital. I've been there.
No,
It's set up nice, and I'm sure they got great people at work there. I don't know any. I'm a promoter kind of guy.
And I'm a realistic, what I've been through kind of girl.
Yeah, but
I
that's
am
your
a
individual.
promoter.
All right, I'm not arguing. I'm just saying everybody goes.
No, I agree.
This brain injury is so straight. Every family is going to go through a different. As Mercedes can agree, everyone is different. Each little aspect.
Exactly.
Who knows how to deal with this? Who knows how to deal with that?
But since
Who
there isn't
can?
a hooks, could the committee like start their own kind of hooks?
We're trying. Hey, anybody out there? Let's go camping.
Yeah, play poker, go fishing.
Exactly. Camping, and then
Put
we
the
did
support
that.
groups back together. We've had shows on support groups, and Indiana's taken a beating on that too. You know, we used to be one of the greatest in the country for. We're still pretty high. We're up there on research. The research department is one of the best in the world. Period.
Exactly.
Other than that comes from Indiana University. Gets a lot of money from the government to make it that way. Thank
Yeah.
you, IU. They're the ones that made me.
And a special shout out to Dr. Don Newman,
She's great.
Dr. Florence Hammond, Dr. Malik, RHI Rehabilitation Hospital of Indiana.
They're great people.
They're great.
They're
people.
world renowned.
I have to admit, yeah, they're wonderful. I love them. So, see, I'm with you. I can promote.
Not even with a brain injury though. RHI is just great.
One thing before we
For
go.
spinal cord damage, I mean, yeah.
That's like we've all three had something to do with RHI, and I don't have a brain injury.
Nobody had concussion, but no, you was
I
there
went
for
through
your
the spine. Like RHI
Well,
helps
they take the-
everyone through recovery.
Yeah, I had vision therapy from Hook. I had vision therapy. Dr.
When you look into rehabilitation hospitals, you have to see what you know. Again, yeah, it's a brand new world for people. Not many families go through TBIs have to do it twice. You know, it's a rare deal. So you know, you're learning the first time on your own, unless you're watching the brain mechanics. And let me explain to you. You know,
And-
you go through the workups.
And I'm sorry, I need to look up a name. Dr.
I don't let you play the phones during the show. I'm sorry.
She's not playing. She's researching.
I'm looking at Dr. She has helped me so much.
We're down to our last few minutes. I didn't know if anything else on your list you wanted to get out is why I was.
Vision therapy and Dr. I forget her name now.
What, from Hooks or from RHI?
No, IU School of Optometry.
Oh, I don't know.
Took Dr. Houston. Oh, see? I should have written it down.
Anyway, we
Anyway.
had dinner last night to discuss the things, and she didn't really know what to discuss, and she had so much to offer, but the TV's making her a little nervous, as I can already tell.
Well, because
and I know
I
you have
can't
stuff on that paper you want to get out. So
I
I'd like you
did.
to just take a second, find the best while I'm talking right now, not pay attention to me, figure out exactly what you want to say.
I got it.
I'll sit here. You got it? You ready to go? Maria Martino.
I'm so embarrassed now. So anyway, speaking of getting it together, in order to improve, I take several supplements, turmeric, curcumin, blackberries for cognitive health. My neurologist said so.
And
then
they can find stuff like that online.
Exactly. And then I've been training, I've been in sports my whole life. But starting out, I never thought I'd get to where I was today. I started with 0.5 steps on the treadmill. Thought I'd never get up to 1. And without incline. Well, now I'm up to like 2.5 on the treadmill with an incline of like 2 or 3.
You should go to your local YMCA every day and do this, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's where I got my
Shout
bagel.
out to Fishers, YMCA and Fishers.
That's where I got my bagel from. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I did. I brought you poppy seed bagels.
Thank you. You knew I like poppy seeds.
Yes, I do. And so do I. But, so, and then I swim with a special trainer. Even though I don't look like I have a brain injury, that's a little thing that
It's the
frustrates
invisible
me.
disease.
Thank you very I love her. Ever since she was like 15, 16. So anyway, and I swim to keep my body and brain connected, wiring.
So you do your own physical therapy, basically, from going through physical therapy and learning so much on your own through the years.
Yeah, and I know I'm smart enough to know I can't do some things on my own. So I have a personal trainer in swimming. Oh, sorry. Is that better? I have a personal trainer in swimming and training. So, and I need a schedule. I need structure. So, yeah, I needed more of. So, and that keeps me on. And then I also do yoga and stretches.
Does that help your mind and your body?
You know, medicine, I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't even think. Medicine, I could decrease one of my medicines that we both take by half when I'm on it.
I'm
On
listening.
yoga. Oh, when I go to yoga and do my training, I can take our magic white pill and take it to like 50 instead of
The magic white pill you're talking about, trazodone. I refer to it as the white zombie. Because it's a sleeping pill, it's a tranquilizer, it's a put you out kind of. It's whatever the doctor wants you to do.
It's for anxiety as well.
Yeah,
And-
they put it in with my seizure pills, everything.
Yeah,
it's
and
yada,
I
yada.
have trigeminal neuralgia, cranial nerve 5, from the fluid buildup, cerebral spinal fluid, because of hydrocephalus. So I take that because I had night terrors for the first time in my life when the fluid was building up, and then so night time's a really hard time for me. So I take.
Are you tired during the day, though?
No,
No? You just don't get...
no, because I take 150 milligrams. Well, because I have a wonderful psychiatrist diagnosed me with ADHD, and some people think it's real or not. But I know when I take that focal, it helps get me through grad school and keeps me focused and not so impulsive.
Well, that's another thing I want to touch on real quick. I mean, you went to grad school after your first injury.
Yeah, it was at University of Indianapolis, the BUILD program, Baccalaureate Indianapolis, Learning Disabled, wonderful program. And they helped me, and then by taking people's advice and working with them, I was accepted to IU. Back then it was the hyper school, hyper health, physical education, recreation. Now it's public health. Got my master's degree in therapeutic recreation. Now I'm for life now, but I'm working on my doctoral in health, behavior, and family studies to go with recreation and therapy.
So you can start as a camping trip. So if you're going to get into recreational camping, you can start a recreational camping trip.
Yeah,
for
but I
us.
don't have all the names and resources and
Oh, we'll build
and-
that. We'll build that.
and being I have short-term memory loss and impulsive and needed to stay on task. We need a little help.
Yeah, because, there's ideas I got to help rebuild Indiana. I know I'm getting ready to hang up by now. I will have hung out with the old-time wrestlers they're having a little dementia convention, and they're having a cookout, and they want to tour it around, and we want to see Missouri this year. He wants to bring it to Indiana next year, so I'm going to need a lot of help. I want to have a big barbecue camp out. They got like 29 teams, Kansas City. It's going to be great. Anyway,
Go ahead.
no, that's the things that I want you guys to figure out and do.
Oh, okay.
And we're down to here the last couple minutes or so. I didn't know if anything else you wanted to clear out that you might want to mention real quick.
My Superwoman glasses.
That you take off to read.
Yes, actually, I have these and a blue pair. They have prisms. Those are my sunglasses. Without these, okay. I was with your wonderful daughter, Mercedes, outside. And a car was coming, and I have that height, not Nick's.
Depth perception?
Yeah. And so I have these prisms, so I'm good at that. But a car was coming too fast for my brain to know how fast, change a direction. I have visual processing disorder. And so I had to grab Mercedes real quick. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, but just to steady me.
Right. And that's part of the optical nerve damage, I'm sure, that you've got through the injuries. And,
Yeah.
those are studies, and there's a doctor right here in town, Dr. Ryan Kate. He's got the stuff to study at heart if you need your optical nerve research.
Oh, occipital?
Occipital
Oh, no, wait.
nerve.
Optic nerve. No, I damaged the occipital, which is in the back of the brain
Yeah,
where
it
your
goes to
vision.
the vision.
And my
Right.
trigeminal. But no, I go to Dr.
I said we're not using big words.
None of your doctor you can remember today.
I know, because he won't let me use my phone. Took Dr. Houston's place. Dr.
We don't have time. I'm sorry for all
See,
the
I
phone
should've-
and all that. We're running real thin. I want to thank you for being on the show with me. Maybe we can do this again sometime once you get the camping in order. We'll just promote the heck out of
Why
it.
don't you help her?
You're helping. There you go. I got another job for you in the brain injured world. It's all working out right here on Brain Mechanics. Thank you for joining us. Well, join us again. As long as I get two lovely women to be beside me, I'll be here each and every time I can. Thank you.